Thank you all for joining in. This is ICANN Fellowship and Interaction and Meetup program. We basically aim to reach out to the community members, especially the newcomers, and we want to share the knowledge and skills that I have learned during my engagement in the ICANN community. Basically, there are some housekeeping rules. So I would expect you to, have your full name. Secondly, please, if you have any questions, then raise your hand and you will be unmuted. Please do not raise your. Please follow the process. Let me share the presentation. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the fellowships, fellowships, and how people from different parts of the world can apply, and how you can benefit through this fellowship. So. Firstly, let me give my introduction to you. My name is Shrideep Rayamaji. I have been involved with the ICANN community since past a decade, and I have attended a lot of the ICANN fellowship meeting as a fellow, and today in the ICANN 78 meeting, I'm one of the mentors from at large. And I wanted to reach out to the community, as there were a lot of questions and queries about what ICANN Fellowship is all about and things like this. So I took this initiative to reach out to younger people, new people, so that they can apply and benefit through the knowledge and experience that I have. So first, let's understand what ICANN is. If you go to the technical meeting, ICANN is the Internet Corporation for Names and Numbers. And it is a private organization, a non-profit, a non-governmental, a non-profit corporation with responsibility for Internet protocol, address space allocation, protocol parameters, assignment, domain name system management, and root server system management function. The Internet Assigned Name Number Authority previously performed these services. So one thing that you have to understand about ICANN is ICANN looks like a technical forum, right? But at basic working level, ICANN is more about policy making organization. It has its technical side, but it is more about developing policies through the community, where we all have to contribute and where we all can participate. So that is the main focus, where we have to understand what ICANN does and how you can participate, because ICANN gives fellowships only to its community members who are engaged in its community work. So that is a very priority that you have to understand. Now, the second slides talk about what is ICANN mission. So the ICANN mission is all about Internet corporations, names and numbers, to ensure the stable and secure operations. And, these are the things that ICANN does. These things are there in the web, and these things are something that you have to understand. If you understand the ICANN's mission, then you can, align your work with ICANN community's work. And then, when you apply for fellowships, that's how you get the fellowships. If your work doesn't align with ICANN's work, you will not get the fellowship. That is the reason why when you fill up the ICANN fellowship forms, you have to understand, you have to write according to what ICANN community work is all about. That is the reason why there are different columns where you have to put different types of proof of you are working in the community, whether you have joined the community or not, whether you have participated in any of the policy making work or groups. So that is the thing. The first mission of ICANN is coordinate the allocation and assign of the name in the root zone of the domain name system, coordinate the development and implementation of policy concerns, the registration of second-level domain names in the generic top-level domain, facilitate the coordination of the operation and the evolution of the DNS root name server system, coordinates the allocation and assignment at the topmost level of the Internet Protocol number and autonomous system number. And the fifth one is collaborates with the other bodies as appropriate to provide registry needed for the functioning of the internet as specified by Internet Protocol standard. So these are the basic missions of ICANN, and you have to understand. You have to, before applying for any fellowship, you have to understand what ICANN is, what its mission are, and how you are gonna put yourself as a member to say that you are a valid candidate. So now we talk about what ICANN ecosystem is all about. So basically, when you look at ICANN, there are 3-tier level of system through which it works. So the first level is the community level. The organization level is there to support the community, whereas there is the board system. That's that is the representation of the community member, as well as there are other consultants that are also there. So it is a combination of the staff of the community that works together to bring out the policy. So at community level, what happens is they develop the policies related to different policies related to the ICANN mission, vision. And the organization helps, the organization staff, they help the community level people in managing, in organizing, and in various other operations. And the board is the final level where they approve the different policies that are made. We will have a question and answer round where you can ask questions. So please have your questions. If you have a question, please do raise your hand and we'll be taking it. Now let's go back to the session. So now the fourth slide. Let me check the slide. Okay, the supporting organization. So in ICANN there are different supporting organizations. These supporting organizations help ICANN to work with the different policies. Supporting organizations is the ICANN community that are responsible for developing policy recommendation in the area they represent, right? So there is ASO. The ASO is Address Council, is comprised of 15 members, 3 from each of the regional internet registrars who work on the global internet protocol address policy. Then we have CCNSO. The CCNSO council and members work on the global policies relating to country code top level domain. And then we have GNSO. The GNSO council is comprised of 21 members divided into 2 house contracted and non-contracted parties who work on the generic top level domain name of GDLT's policies. So these organizations are there within the community organization. So this is what you have to understand. Then we have advisory council, right? Advisory committees, sorry. So we have 4 advisory committees that are basically ALAC. ALAC is at large group. The ALAC expresses the interest of the individual internet users and is comprised of 15 members, 2 from each of the 5 regional at-large organizations, and 5 appointed by the ICANN nominating committee. Right now, when you are trying to learn about ICANN, there are a lot of acronyms that are being used, like ALAC. So you might feel confused. ALAC is at large advisory committee, right? So when you feel you are lacking behind, just do a Google research, do a Google search, and try to search for it, because ICANN is so big that if you don't narrow it down, if you just dive in, it's completely vague. It's completely vague. So you have to be very focused on what kind of issues, what strategy you will use when trying to understand what ICANN work is all about. So you have to be very focused. So then we have GAC. GAC is Governmental Advisory Committee. So basically, the GAC provides advices on public policies issues, particularly on interaction with ICANN policies and national and international agreements. Then we have RSAC. So that is like a root server system advisory group. The RSAC advises on the operation, administration, security, and integrity of the root system, server system, right? And then we have the SSAC, Security Stability Advisory Committee. The SSAC advises on matters related to the security and integrity of the internet name and addresses allocating system. So these are basically fundamental things about what ICANN structure is all about, right? So we talked about supporting organization. We talked about the advisory committee under the community level, right? So then we have, these are the levels that you have to understand about how they work, where the policy is made. So all the policies are made in advisory committee, right? Then when we talk about all the technical level discussion, it is done in the supporting organization, committees. So now we are going to talk about what ICANN public meetings are. So basically, there are three types of ICANN public meetings. First, community forum. Community forums are basically 6 days. ICANN community works in that particular forum. You might have heard about ICANN 77. So that was a community forum meeting, right? So sorry, that was a policy forum. Sorry, my mistake. That was a policy forum. So these meetings, ICANN meetings, are separated in 3 types. So which meeting, what is being done, that is what you have to focus on. You have to understand all these things. And when you understand what type of meeting, then you can apply, then you can think. So that is the reason why it's all very strategic about which meeting you are going to attend, which meeting allow newcomers, that you have to understand. Okay, an overview of the newcomer program. So there is currently a newcomer program that is happening, the fellowship program that and the next gen. The next gen is for people in between 18 and 30 years, especially for newcomers, especially students, and especially I would encourage the women participation, because there is very less women participation in all these fellowship meetings. If you are a woman, if you have women friends, please, if they are related, if they are working within the hemisphere of ICANN mission and vision, please do advise them. They have very high chances of getting the fellowship. So these are the fellowship programs. And you can see through it. There are videos here, which I'll also provide. I'll also provide you with the slide, and you can go through the link and see what these programs are all about. Fellowship program. So now we are going to talk about how different is the fellowship, how next generation differs from the fellowship program. So first thing you might want to understand is, okay, if there is a fellowship program, why do we need a next gen program, right? So the next gen program is specially targeted for young people, because it is very important for the community to understand the issues, because a lot of the younger people, a lot of the younger masses are very active in the internet. So that is the reason why this separate category is formed. The fellowship program, you have to be more than 21 age. If you are working within the ICANN scope and role, please do apply. And there is a certain process about how you apply for the fellowships. I will take a lot of questions in this regards, because a lot of us have confusions that we apply for so many ICANN fellowships program, but we are not selected. We think that maybe that there are issues with our application, and to be very frank, the most important thing about ICANN application is the process is very standard, right? It is not that they are favoring someone who talks in English or who has a better communication skills. No, the process is very standardized. ICANN selects only those people who work within the ICANN mission and vision. So that is what you have to understand. It is very important that you have to be connected with ICANN's work, right? You cannot, it cannot be something like you are working within the Internet Governance Hemisphere, but not associated with ICANN, right? So specifically, you have to be a community member. You have to work within the community only then, because you might have seen the fellowship, you might have seen the fellowship application form. There it's written which of the programs you are associated with, what are the things that you have done within the ICANN community. So these things do matter. And when you are working, it is a very important thing about how you present yourself, how you are doing. A lot of the times what happens is, if you are a newcomer, try attending the meetings online. It is free. It is free. A lot of us don't realize that. We don't attend. You have Zoom account, you could register, just apply, participate, and learn. Try to learn the way, use your social media. These days with yes, sure. So you have to understand all these things. You have to understand what you are doing, how you are preparing yourself, because ICANN Fellowship needs a certain level of preparation. You have to know what ICANN is. You have to know how you are, because it is a lot of money to get the fellows from one country to all these meetings. And if you are not prepared, if you are not engaged in the community, and if you are just coming there, that there is no possibility for ICANN to help you groom. But if you are already groomed, I mean to say, if you know what ICANN is all doing, and if you are already engaged, then they would love you. And especially with the ICANN meetings, it's a very comfortable environment. People, leaders are there. You can go ask. And once you're a fellow, it is very comfortable. So what I will suggest you, for newcomers who have applied in the past, who have not got the fellowship, is please try to engage. If the ICANN 78 is happening, register for that event, and then apply for the ICANN 79, which has recently opened, right? So it has already opened the applications for ICANN 79. So you can apply for that, but do attend this online as well, the ICANN 78 online as well, because that way you are preparing yourself. And in the application form as well, you can write that you have done this. So that is a very well way of how you can prepare yourself. So now we are talking about, the fellowship program, the diversity, till now it's 1515. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that Shiranos, she's a wonderful leader who was a ICANN community leader. She stepped into as a role of the ICANN fellowship manager, and who has been doing a wonderful job, has provided us with this slide deck to further help you guys understand what it is all about. And till now, ICANN has given 1515 fellowships in 161 countries. So there is opportunity, but it is just that be wise, be smart, come prepared. That way your fellowship is assured. Right. So these are some of the resources which are available. Now we'll probably be diving into the questions. Before that, I would like to thank Shiranos, especially the fellowship manager, for providing us with all this information. I would like to thank Mr. Jirong as well for giving us this, sponsoring us with this, Zoom account. Thank you, Jirong, as well as Shiranos. Now we'll open the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Anybody has any questions? because I want it to be more interactive. I think there is a lot to learn from the community, right? A lot of us apply without preparation. That's why our fellowship gets rejected. Okay, Muhammad Kausar, please go ahead.
Hello, Sridhar. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
Sridhar. Then I have a question like you are mentioned in your presentation you already participated lots of ICANN meeting, right? But I know, as I understand, only you can get 2 fellowship to participate the meeting. But how can get more than 2? How it's possible to get more than 2 fellowship for the meeting? I understand.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you repeat that
And
question, because I could not get the question.
as I understand, in every individual can get 2 fellowship for participate two meetings. But how can get more fellowship, more than 2 fellowship? Is it possible to get more than 2 fellowship?
Okay, so that was an excellent question, Kausar. Thank you. The answer is you can get 3 fellowships. With ICANN Fellow, you can get 3 fellowships. And there are a lot of other opportunities within the community travel programs are there. So you have to understand this. The more you get engaged, the more fellowships you can apply, right? So right now there is a APIRALO GA that is going to happen in Turkey. So for that, all the ALS representatives are going, right? So these fellowships are there. So you have to understand what kind of fellowships are there, how well you are prepared, how well you can do things, how can you engage. Engagement is very important in the meeting. So as soon as there are more as you engage more with the community work, with all your things, you get the fellowships. And if you look at the real thing, I have traveled. I have been traveled to ICANN meetings more than 3 times. So that is through my work, through my community engagement. That's how you engage, and it is 3. Every individual gets 3 ICANN fellowship chances. And other than that, there are community engagement programs where you can participate. The best way to participate is don't dive into ICANN. Don't just dive, because it's as big. Let me share you one example. In 2021, I was the social media chair of ICANN, right? I mean, at large social media working group chair of the group. I was there. So what happened was ICANN APAC Hub published an interview about me. So they did publish, and they thought, I might have known about it. But it was like after 2 years or 1 year that I came to know it was published. So it is very big. ICANN is very big. You have to focus. You have to focus on what you are trying to do, because right now you are new. You want to join into groups. You kind of like go and join all the meetings and things. So you have to understand this, that the way to do it is to focus. As soon as you focus, then you kind of like work your way, right? So
Thank you, Sridhar. Then I have another question. Like your slide, in your slide you mentioned 5 missions of ICANN's 5 mission. But I saw there every mission is related to technical person. Some person who are engaged with the ICANN community. I am little bit engaged with the ICANN community, so I am not from the technical background. So how can I contribute in this? How can I contribute in the ICANN community? Okay.
Let me be very frank with you. ICANN is, the way we look at ICANN is from the technical point of view. We think it is more like the .org thing technical. No, it is not. ICANN is more of a community-based, multi-stakeholder organization. The work that ICANN does is all about policy. right? With AP Ralo, with all these people, we are there making policies. We even started the AP Ralo Policy Forum. So that's where you have to be there. That's where you have to start understanding it, right? Until and unless you kind of like go to all these meetings, Kausar is there from Bangladesh. So what you can do is an ICANN meeting is happening, right? So as soon as the meeting is happening, you want to join in. You want to go join it online because it's free. What we don't do is we just want to travel. We just want to, we just want to be there. That is so wrong. Learn. The first thing is to learn. Yes, Tayuen, please unmute your mic and have your question.
Hi, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, thank you very much. You can call me Tiny for just easy to call. So I'm currently working as a program manager in the SEER organization, which is a youth-led organization in Vietnam, where we involve in transdisciplinary education. So one of my main domain of work right now is related to digital literacy and policy, because Vietnam, we are having a problem with the internet civilization, as we are having a lot of hate speech and high technology, and also criminal as well. So that's why we are trying to involve this the project called the Peer Learning Circle for the vulnerable community, especially the LGBT, disabled, and and women and children. So they well know about the threat on the internet, and they know their rights to protect themselves from data. And also we're working on the recommendation for the policy in the Universal Periodic Review, because we're going to be reviewed about the internet cybersecurity once per 2 years. So in that category, is it directly related to this fellowship?
Yes, to some extent, there is a group called NCGS. So that's a non-stakeholder commercial group, So in ICANN, what you have to understand is there are different groups that talks, that shares, like at large is more of a group that works on policy development at end user level. And NCUC is where the issues are. Like you are talking about LGBTQI group issues. So that is specifically, interest the NCSG group. So please do join in. There is a lot of potential for people, young people like you from Vietnam, because we have from Asia, we lack people from Asia in contributing as well as in talking about issues. We don't have participants from Vietnam that common. So surely, please do join in to NCGS, and start contributing, collaborating, because I'm not that experienced, but looking at the meetings that I have attended, is a lot of the people don't contribute in these communities, and that's where the problem has started, right? Even for me. Right now, I'm not getting paid. I'm doing this because I want more people from Asia to come up, because it's saturated right now. Asia is not just about India, China. No, Asia is about Vietnam. Asia is about Bangladesh. Asia is about Nepal. Asia is about every other country that is there. And that is what makes us beautiful. But the part is we do not contribute. And that is where we are lacking. So we have to step in, we have to contribute. Please do join in the NCGS group. They will certainly have, you can start that discussion there, because even with these digital rights issues, policies are supposed to be made. And that's where you can make a difference. Yes, any more questions?
Sorry, I just have one more question. Because I also participated in 2 courses about digital literacy and policy on the Internet Society. So I wondered if the Internet Society is a direct stakeholder of ICANN.
So what you have to understand is the internet community, they have different organizations. So as I mentioned earlier, ICANN more specifically deals with the .org, .thing, these kind of things, right? And Internet Society is more about digital rights. So that is where you have to understand and create your own, bond with that organization, missions and vision. That's how you coordinate. Because if the organization is working in DNS and all these websites, then you have to relate your issues, digital rights issues with that organization in such pattern. Only then they will understand and grab you, right? Internet society works with infrastructure. Internet society works with issues, digital rights issues. So you have to work with internet society in such a way. And ICANN works in a different way. ICANN is more specifically focused towards policy making processes at community level. So that is where you can make a change and you can make a difference. Thank you. So any more questions? Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah, Kausar, is that an old hand or a new hand?
Yeah, new hand.
Okay, please go ahead.
Then I see here in a calendar year, ICANN have three meetings, right? One annual general meeting, one policy forum, and one community forum.
Okay.
Right? Then what is the difference in these three types of meeting? Number one. Number two,
okay.
Here you mentioned some meeting like virtual meeting. So if anyone get two fellowships, three fellowships, including this virtual meeting, if it is fulfill the three within, if it is also count this virtual meeting also within the three.
Okay, so Kausar, what you have to understand is first, three meetings means not continuous meeting, right? You can do it now, you can do it later, you can do it later as well. So as a fellow, you have three meetings to be attended. They sponsor only 3 meetings as a fellow. Now, regarding your question about what community forums are, what policy forums are, what annual general meetings are. So generally, community forums are 6 days meeting. So there they have ICANN board meetings and public forums, right? In policy meeting, it is more about, it is policy. In policy meeting, there are only alumni fellowships are given, right? It is generally 4 days meeting, and ICANN community work, a lot of the community work happens, and it is targeted in the specific areas, right, of ICANN policy making process. So, and annual general meeting also, it is open and you can apply. So for newcomers, especially for community meeting and AGM, you can apply, but not in the policy forum. Policy forums are reserved for alumni, people who are already in as a fellow or members. And there are
another one. Yeah,
a lot of courses with ICANN Learn, right? And if you go through the fellowship toolkit that I have made, then you will have an idea about what are the things that you should do. Okay, your question.
Yeah. Another question is like, if virtual meeting is also count, also count in this 3 meeting, right?
Right. So the whole idea about virtual meeting was, it came after COVID, right? So it came only after COVID.
Right.
So even today you can have a virtual meeting. You can do it. It's generally all the meetings right now are hybrid. I mean to say they allow participants from remote participation to talk. So even in ICANN 75, I think I participated as a virtual attendee. So that is the thing. Virtually you can attend all the meetings. There is no restriction to it, right? But your engagement is what matters. When you are engaged, when you show, and let me tell you, the fellowship committee, the fellowship selection committee, they come from different backgrounds, right? They don't just pick it from here and there. No, they have a sectoral thing. They do it in a multi-stakeholder way. They make these selections on various criteria, standard criteria that are given to them by the by the org.org thing, as well as these standards are to be met. So it is not just that. Yeah.
Actually, Sridip, I want to know what is the difference between the participation in a virtual meeting, like as a fellow or a general participant.
Look, there is no difference. I mean to say, when you are participating virtually, in all the meetings they have it open, right? They ask for you to be there. They ask you if you have any question. So that's a virtual participant, right? So
Okay,
that is
okay,
not counted, right?
Okay.
That is the way to engage. I mean to say, you know, you are a virtual participant, then what are the chances of getting the other fellowship, right? In face-to-face fellowships. So the chances of you is the way you show your engagement. That's what I was telling the other guy, that, you know, you have to engage. Until and unless you engage with the ICANN scope, role, vision, they are not going to give you the fellowship, face-to-face fellowship.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Okay, any more questions? Because it is very interesting. Let me tell you, let me share you my story. It took me around 5, 6, 10 years to get a fellowship. And literally what happened was I was applying, I was doing a lot of work, community work, and I was, you know, sending all this fellowship. Then one good day, I realized that it is high time that I start, you know, talking with the people, asking them why my fellowship is being rejected. So I sent an email to Rinalia. So Rinalia used to, you know, she is from, I think she used to work as a ICANN board member, as well as she was associated with the ICANN ISOC Malaysia chapter. So she was there. I knew her, and I sent her an email saying, okay, I have been doing all these works, but when it comes to ICANN Fellowship, only a few people are going. Why am I not getting the fellowship? I just sent her my question. And then what happened was she linked me to one of the fellowship managers. My email was forwarded to Mama Jane, who was the current fellowship manager. And then she wrote me an email saying, you know, you have to be an ICANN, you have to be within the ICANN hemisphere of ICANN vision and mission to get the fellow. Then I understood. And then I started my engagement with ICANN, and that's how I got the fellowship. There is a question by Karishma Parali. As a newcomer interested in engaging with ICANN, where should I apply to participate in the ICANN Fellowship? Okay, that's a very good question, Karishma. To start as a newcomer, the first thing that you want to do is, you know, start engaging with your Relo. That's the best place, you know, understand ICANN, understand what the processes are, and then start engaging. And then, you know, there are a lot of opportunities that comes during the meeting, that comes before and after the meeting as well. So you have to be very focused. You have to understand what this community works, how you are going to contribute. So contribution is key. Engagement is key. When you don't contribute, you don't get fellowships. You know, just by writing, I am this and this, I'm doing this and this, I'm writing a paper. No, they don't give you fellowship. Show them. You know, even this outreach and engagement, this is my engagement, my personal, nobody is helping me, nobody is paying me, but I'm doing it out to you. Why? Because I want young people, new people to come in. I want to reach out to people, you know, who have applied so many times and who have not got their fellowships, right? Because there is so much of chance, so much of possibility, especially for women. Women participation is very less in ICANN, and the engagements are, you know, they want women participation. So please, for women, women leaders, please start engaging with your Relos. There are a lot of meetings that happen every month. There is a Relo meeting. If you are from Asia, there is Apralo. If you are from Africa, there is Afralo. If you are from North America, there is from Naralo. If you are from Europe, there is Euralo. So that is the best place to start. So as soon as you start to engage, you know, you get to the meetings, right? Connect, be a virtual member, virtual attendee, start attending the meeting, you know, do the, start tweaking, tag them. And that's how it started. Okay, Chuan, please go ahead. Sorry, maybe I'm mispronouncing your name.
No worry. So can you help us to pronounce the Abralo, because I heard you said it, but I don't know how to spell it.
Okay, APRALO, Asia Pacific Regional at Large Organization. So you can join that organization. You can just go through, search for discussion list of APRALO, and then yeah, Karishma has given the link. You can see there's a discussion list there, and I don't know whether Vietnam has an ALS, that's an at-large structure organization or not, but you can directly join the discussion forum and then get the information and start engaging. Because once you start to get into the ICANN community, there are different things, different structures. So the best way is to start from APRALO. They have under APRALO, they have different ALS. So that ALS is at-large structures. So under ALS, there are members, but you can directly join the APRALO discussion list and start engaging. So that way you can progress. Because if you dive in to ICANN, it's an ocean. It's an ocean. If you just dive in, it's an ocean and you will not be able to learn anything. For fellowships, if you are interested in getting the fellowship, start working your way around what ICANN is doing. Write a blog about it. What you can do is attend the ICANN virtual meeting, write a blog about it, about your experience. If it's possible, do social media tweets. Everybody looks at, there are a lot of competitions that are happening in social media. So that is the best way to start. Start easy, start light, come prepared, because this community wants leaders. This community doesn't want people who don't speak. This community wants people who have issues, who can talk, who can share, young people, smart people. That is what the need is all about. And you have the energy. And if you are not doing that, then you will not, get the fellowship. Let me be very straight and very frank with you. Because I'm a mentor. I've seen people grow. And it's just not just this small. You grow professionally because you're attending all these meetings. You're growing professionally. You're working voluntarily, but you are learning professionally. I have done leadership courses here in ICANN, which are credited. I mean to say credited in the sense of getting recognition. I'm able to show it to different organizations saying, okay, I've been to all these meetings. That's how my communication skills has grown so much. So this is the way you have to contribute as well as you have to learn, you have to prepare and give back to the community. So that is the way. So any more questions? Would love to hear more questions. And when you are applying, like it seems that a lot of us, what happens is we are in the community. Yes, Farah, please go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hi, Sandeep. Thanks for inviting. I'm the Secretary General of Bangladesh Women Internet Governance Forum, BIGF, okay. And also working for the women community as well. So okay. Yeah. So much, so good, and it was a very informative session. And for a new joinee, I think that I got some ideas, some thoughts that I can share in my community, and that's what I wanted. And I really want to get, obviously, get into ICANN all the programs. So if there is any way, just just be connected so that we together we can achieve, and for that we have to be very collaborative. And thanks for this wonderful session. That's what I want to
yes,
say.
Farah. So it's a great opportunity. Look, you spoke here, and if you are doing any session there, call me. I'll come. I'll come and talk.
Thank you so very much for so communicative.
Yeah, no, that is the way how this community works. We have to, reach out. That is how we engage. ICANN has spent a lot of money in me as a community member, as a community fellow. So it is my responsibility now to go back to the community and reach out to you guys. That is how I'm going to show my engagement, right? Because ultimately, if new people are coming in, we need to prepare those people with experiences, with thoughts, with ideas. You going to an interview without preparation and you going to an interview with preparation, there's a huge difference. So that is what I'm trying to say. You applying for fellowships without preparation, you applying for fellowships with preparation. There's a good difference. And it is a great way to collaborate, network, you meet a lot of the people. And we also have Eris Ignacio, who is the vice chair of APRALO. Eris, would you like to share anything? I'm just putting you into spot.
Hi, Shrideep. Hello, everyone. I don't know. I know some people who are here today. It's really good to see you here and to be with Shrideep, because if there will be somebody whom you want to be a mentor, you want somebody who will be your mentor in maybe paving the way for you in being a community member and being engaged, Shrideep is the best one out there. So it's really a great opportunity, and he's really doing a lot of engagement opportunities for everyone, and this really opens up a lot of possibilities. And I also started being a fellow, and it's really an enriching experience. I've been with Shrideep for a decade already, and we were been with this for the longest time. We saw a lot of people come and go, but there are really people who are staying and still, engaging in making what we have right now a better internet for it.
So true.
We hope that what I said brings somewhat spark your interest in joining our company and engaging further. So I think that will be all for today.
Okay, thank you, Eris. Thank you for that wonderful speech. That's the beauty about this community. You get to meet a lot of the new people. You get to meet a lot of the different things. You get to learn. When you are working within your country, within your office space, you're just working in a smaller space. But when you're working online, you learn skills. You see people. You meet people. That is the whole idea of what the global work or global development is all about. You are participating in not in just your country's work, but you are participating in the overall development of the policy making process of ICANN. So just imagine your contribution to the community. Just prepare yourself, just work yourself, and see. The opportunities are endless. But it is you who have to realize. That is what I believe in, right? Because if you feel, okay, it is nothing, like you're wasting your time doing voluntary, then it's a waste. But if you believe, you are making your path, I mean to say, how internet should be shaped, how these policies are being done, right? So just imagine, just think about it, then you are participating in a global policy making process. That is so powerful. There is so much to learn, and that is what is important. That is the way to be more focused, more understanding, be more learning, and personally, professionally, you grow. So any more questions? Questions are what I love. If there are more questions, anyone who has any experience about the fellowship or fellowship form, or if there is anything that you want to ask. I'm not looking at the questions. Okay, the chat. If there is anything from the chat. Okay, thank you. Okay. So that's about it. Eris is there. He's the vice chair of APRALO right now. He also started as a community member, as a fellow, and he's a leader right now. And even for everyone who is there contributing, people learn, people tend to grow. So that is what is important. It helps you, shape your professional as well as personal career, because you're learning. Just don't think it is just volunteering. And unless you start the community engagement, you will not get to the other side, right? So engagement is very important with the ICANN scope and work. Start engaging. That's where you make a difference. That is a very important part of ICANN policy making process, and you can make a difference with participating, because Asia has a lot of issues. Why? Because Asia cannot just be represented by 1 or 2 countries. Asia has to be represented by Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Pakistan, India, China, every other country, because we have our own specific issues. And if we don't participate, the policies will be made in a different way, which we are not aligned to. And that is where the problem starts. And that is why the multi-stakeholder engagement, multi-stakeholder scope, multi-stakeholder role, responsibility is coming in. That, you know, it's a global world, it's a global internet. It is not just an internet that is for people who use it, the people who developed it. No, it is for the people who have, you know, been using it. Internet has become internet of today because we supported it, we collaborated it. That is the reason why it grew. Or else it would have been a small, located in one country. No, it was developed in somewhere by Americans, US Army, and now it is expanded. And our role and responsibility is we have made it big. You know, we have contributed in its growth. You know, with our money, with our resource, with our information, whatever you call it. So that is the way. And I hope, you know, you will, all of you will participate in all the organizations. The RELOs are there. Join the ALSs, participate, and please do participate virtually. If you don't have the fellowship, please do participate, engage. Who knows, you might get the fellowship for Puerto Rico. Who knows, you might get the fellowship for other meetings. And it is not just sheer luck. It is not sheer luck. You have to participate. So thank you all for joining today. Probably I would like to end if there are no questions. If there are questions, then we will take it. Or if somebody wants to share anything, please go ahead, share. You know, you're more than welcome to share your thoughts, ideas. Okay, there is a message. Okay, then thank you for attending. You know, I would probably send you the presentation as well, and we will I hope to meet you as a fellow, you know, maybe in Puerto Rico or somewhere, and it is my great pleasure and honor to have you as a listener. Thank you all. In this call, thank you for joining in, and I will be sending you some information as well. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you very much, Shruti.
Thank you very much.